station and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday, and this is Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Mr. Ty Bartell. Ty, how we doing?
Doing real well, Anthony. After a nice night of girls basketball action in the area, saw some great players stand out last night. Got a chance to speak with some of them, and I see that you had some pretty good games around the area as well. As there were some very close ones as well.
There were some close ones. There were some surprising results, and maybe some results that weren't surprising for me. Maybe surprising for you.
It was literally by a couple of points too, and each one of the losses is the worst part. I'm down by 6. We'll get it. We'll get back.
I think it's 5.
I'll get it. Hey, luck plays an early part into it. We'll get it figured out.
Yeah, luck played an early part when you had the lead. It doesn't play a part when I had the lead. It's not luck.
Oh, no, it's never luck. Absolutely not. 29-27 win. Are you kidding me? Barely, but every single one of my losses are by 2 points or less this entire season.
City, baby. No. Springfield took it too.
Yes, Springfield did. I was surprised too because I really thought Brookfield was looking really good, but hey, Springfield came out, and we knew they were going to be a tough competitor in that MVAC conference, and they finally have things figured out and let the games begin with conference play. As we know, a lot of games open up this week too. Scarlet Tier is going to be playing inside the division, and so is Gray. So it's going to be very fun this week.
And let's start off with, like we always do, the game you were at, Ty. You were in Waterloo, and I'm going to let you talk about this game and what it transpired. The Vikings looked really impressive, and preview your post-game interviews with Coach Logan Ecker and Kerry English.
Yeah, and I mean when we look at Kerry English last night, and honestly, the biggest thing that we saw improved, I think, was that passing game from Kerry English from last year going into this year. She has supreme confidence also attacking the basket and going to the rim, as well as just we look at how she sets up her other teammates too with passes. Her and Rose Couts are two very good primary ball handlers, and kind of like Jackson Milton, they're 7 girls strong, but they're very, very talented at basketball. And I think the most impressive thing in my first chance seeing the Lady Vikings this season was the basketball IQ for how young this team is. And they really know how to play the sport. They know where they're supposed to be, a lot of off-ball movement. And that's what you really like to see with teams at this age. And when you look at the box score, 20 points for Couts, 20 points for English, 14 points from Masry. I mean, you look at that box score, 54 points combined between 3 players. It's sharing the wealth. And if they can consistently do this throughout the season, I think they're going to be a very good team. Don't have a whole lot of height, but they have a whole lot of ball handlers, and great ball movement can supplement for that.
Sorry about that. We are back. Yeah, you have interviews, like I said, with Coach Logan Ecker and Kerry English, but I think this was kind of a game, and we're going to find out a little bit more because the schedule gets real quick for Waterloo about, what this team's all about. They still have to play Jackson Milton pretty soon. They're going to play McDonald pretty soon, and they're going to play Western Reserve pretty soon.
They got Lowville on the 9th. So, I mean, you get right into that Scarlet division play. They're going to have to get right into it, and conference play begins, and these games matter. Lowville coming off of a loss, they want to get back on track. It's going to be a very tough matchup, and we talked a little bit about that in my preview with Coach. We had a discussion about that. He previewed the game a little bit. It should be a fun one on the 9th.
This is a team that I think people were on the fence about before the season. They could be competitive, but they're still very young, and they just didn't know how it was going to go. Last night, especially, this Waterloo team looked very good.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, looking at the way they move the ball, it's really what makes their offense so special, in that they can move the ball efficiently and they have a lot of ball handlers. But on the other end, defensively, they play a very good game, and they really clog up the passing lanes, and they make it very hard for you to try to get anything going on offense, really forcing the Lady Knights last night to the perimeter and nothing but around the horn passing and just trying to get an open shot, not allowing a whole lot of penetration on the interior, especially in that first half, playing a very good zone defense, but they could also play man up. It's what happens when you have a good group of smart, high IQ and basketball girls on a team, that you can run different types of defenses, and it really makes it hard to play against them.
The athleticism of Kara English does not hurt at one bit.
No doubt, as she was definitely well-deserved for player of the game last night.
You had a chance to talk with that player of the game, so let's hear what Kara English had to say, then we'll come back and we'll talk about the conversation that you had with Coach Loganecker as well.
Welcome back, everyone, as I am here with tonight's player of the game, Kara English, who had 20 points of offense tonight to help lead the Lady Vikings to a 66-38 victory over the St. Thomas Aquinas Lady Knights. And Kara, looking at what you and Rose were able to do, 40 points of offense combined between you two, you both handled the ball really well. How good is this offense, or how good can it be when you guys are having that chemistry, and how you guys are able to facilitate to everyone else?
It's really good once when we start connecting passes and running off each other. That's when it really connects, and then it's really hard to guard once we do that.
I mean, obviously, we already know your name is well synonymous with soccer in the state of Ohio, but you do pretty well on the basketball court as well. Talk to me a little bit, though. It's a team of 7 girls, and we've seen a few teams like that this year, but how strong that chemistry needs to be between those 7 girls, and how much you need to depend on each other when there's not a whole lot of subs that are back there for you.
Yeah, I mean, we all get along really well. We're all really good friends, and I think that's a big part of how we play, is how much we get along, how much we work together as a team. So,
looking at your game this year compared to last year, I want to say one thing that I've noticed improved a lot was your passing game. Was that something that was actively worked upon during the summer, and was that something you wanted to get better at going into this season?
I mean, a big part of that, I think, comes from soccer too. It's pretty much the same thing with just getting your head up and finding the open player. So.
And looking at this team now, obviously a young squad, but Waterloo we know is a proud school of tradition and victory within the basketball community. Just what does it mean to you to play for this community and play for this school and be a part of this Waterloo team?
It means a lot. I mean, it's a small school, so it just means a lot to support and bring up the name Waterloo.
As we know, the Lady Vikings have a lot of support, and you can catch Kara English on the court. Says next time you can catch the Lady Vikings will be versus Lowville Thursday, December 9th at 6 p.m. Kara, thank you so much.
You.
That was Kara English, the player of the game from Waterloo's victory over St. Thomas Aquinas. And Ty, I think I like the conversation that you had, bringing what she learned from soccer and what she takes from soccer. Obviously, a phenomenal soccer player with almost 100 goals already in her career, just a sophomore. So I like that part of the conversation.
Yeah, and honestly, a good interview too, as we see Gary English is a very good leader already for just being so young for that team. And when you watch her play, she does some incredible things on the court as well. And she's a very good ball handler, but she finds open passes a lot, and she facilitates to her team, and she tries to get everybody involved. And that's a huge key for team success, especially when you're playing with 7 girls. You need everyone clicking at some point too, because you need someone to be able to sub. And Coach did a great job of subbing with the 7 girls, trying to give everybody rest and make sure everyone was getting playing time. And I think he did a great job with it.
Preview this talk that you had with Coach Loganecker a little bit real quick.
I mean, honestly, just talking with Coach, it was just more or less just talking about how the early season was going, talking about how with 7 girls on a team, how you're able to run practices effectively and come out with such a strong defense and be able to pass so effectively, and just talking about the drills and just kind of going inside the practices a little bit with Coach and how he's been able to get these 7 girls ready for the season and how they've already had such a good start to the season. And then looking at it too, we also previewed, of course, the Lowville game and opening up conference play, which is going to be ever so important, especially in this MVAC, which I feel on both boys and girls end is going to be wide open. So it's going to be a very fun one this season. And also looking at what we also have too with Coach, we also talked a little bit about overall just what the team performed like on the night, and we just talked a little bit about Kara and Rose and how important they were for the team as well.
Money Mazur with 14. When you get scoring from all areas of the court like that, and just looking at what this team was last year, what are those big improvements that you've seen, and what has led to all this success so far early on in the season?
Couple things. We're getting production from people besides Rose and Kara, which is huge. And so Abby Mazur stepping up. We're getting a shot or two from Weber, from Kaylee Webb, and Jules starting to get active inside. And Lily Foster just gives us a punch throughout that really can take some pressure off of Rose handling the ball. And I attribute that to the kids are putting in a lot of time. We put in a lot of time with their offensive skills. So, hard work, success will find hard work in time. Doesn't guarantee it, but it'll find it. So, tribute to kids for doing what we ask them to do.
One of the biggest things that both Brandon and I were talking about in tonight's game, the defense of your girls was very impressive, creating a lot of steals and just creating a lot of pressure for the Lady Knights tonight. How are you able to create that kind of defensive pressure and get that kind of intensity from the girls when you can't run 5-on-5s in practices? And how are you able to convey that, and how are you able to get these girls to be so strong-willed defensively going into this one?
Yeah. You'd be surprised. We have 7 kids and 8 kids, and our practices are pretty energetic. And so, that's one of the things we can control our energy level. We can control our effort level. And so we talk a lot about that. We've traditionally done similar type defenses in the past. So they know how we want stuff played. And, the kids like playing that way. We're not a team that's going to, lay back a lot, certain situations maybe, but I think they like playing that way. So we get after it, and sometimes we're kind of tired, but we do it.
Talking about your next game against Lowville, we know the MVAC play is always going to be tough, and it's going to be fun on both sides this year. Preview this game a little bit with us, as we know it's going to be home, and Rocket's going to be a tough challenge for sure.
Yeah, Lisa's got a nice club, and I know that they played Crestview very tough the other night, and they like to get after it, so it's going to be up and down a little bit. And Lowville is a team that plays hard. I mean, that may sound cliche, but those kids, they do a great job with those kids, and those kids they're going to come to play for 32 minutes. And we've always had some great games with them, and respect the heck out of those guys.
And my final question for you, Coach, and just looking at the rest of the season as a whole, obviously we know there's a few teams that are coming into this year with a little bit of a shorthanded roster. What's kind of the identity and the mentality of this team, and what does it kind of have to be when like I kind of similar to what I asked Kara, that you don't have those subs there to back you up. You kind of have to depend on each other. Talk to me about just building that trust between the girls and how important that is.
Well, that you just said the word that we literally, when we went after we went over our pregame stuff at field the other day, that was the word that went up on the board, was trust. And we talk about some of the stuff that we do defensively that's maybe a little bit non-traditional, and you have to trust it, and you have to trust your teammates. And I think we do a better job right now, believe it or not, trusting on the defensive end than we do on the offensive end. And when that trust comes on the offensive end, I think we're going to be even a little better. So But trust is the key. You nailed it. You nailed it.
As we are obviously excited to be catching more of the Waterloo Lady Vikings on ysnlive.com. Coach Logan Ecker from Waterloo. Victors tonight, 66-38. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
66-38. Waterloo with a very impressive win over St. Thomas Aquinas. Ty, we had a lot more scores to go over. Let's go over the final scores, and then we'll kind of circle back and get some more. What do you want to say? Get some more fine details and some more post-game interviews that we had conducted over the night. Yeah, my mind is struggling today on a Tuesday, I'll tell you. So, one of the ones that I saw, in the scores that really kind of was like an eye-opener a little bit. 53-34, Garfield beats Jackson Milton. I expected this game to be a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, and you know what? Garfield, give them credit. The Lady G-men do a great job there, and Coach Gilbert got them ready after going out to Walter Shields and the Lady Warriors, which are going to be a very good team over there in West Branch. We knew the Lady G-men were going to be a good team, and I think maybe we were doubting them a little bit after that. And Jackson Milton also has a great squad, but looking at what the Lady G-men were able to do, they handled them very well, and credit to them and props to Coach Gilbert for getting them ready for it.
You know what I didn't take into account that I probably should have when going through this game? The Lady G-men had let's see. They opened on the 20th. They haven't played since.
I don't believe so. Unless there's a game that I'm missing in between there. Right. I don't believe there was.
There wasn't a game that we were sent, at least, by the way. So they had 2 weeks to practice for this game? I mean, that's like Coach Gilbert's so good. That's like giving Bill Belichick a bye week, throwing some love to your team that looked pretty good last night. So that's like throwing him a bye week, and he has 2 weeks to prepare for you. And I think Jackson Milton caught the brunt into that because they've been playing a lot in the last week.
Yeah, and Jackson Milton probably just tired too. Like you said, playing a lot in the last week, and another one of those teams with 7 players. It's one of those downfalls of playing so often. You don't have as many subs, so those minutes do add up eventually too when you play so many times in a week. So I'm sure that some of the girls were tired going into it, but of course we know we don't want to give any excuses. Props to the Lady G-men for just playing better on the night.
Another win for the grade tier as they've been dominating these inner MVAC tier matchups. Some other scores for you on the night. Valley Christian gets the 42-30 win over Lisbon. You look at Champion, they put their foot in the ground against Warren JFK, 59-18. Camel got their second win of the year, 39-22 over Heartland Christian. Liberty, guess what? Another game over 70 points. 71-39, they cruise past McDonald. This one is another one of those, because McDonald's defense looked very good the first couple weeks of the season, and they didn't slow Liberty down one bit.
McDonald, check. Western Reserve, check. I mean, they're going through the big names of the tier, and they're checking them off, and Liberty looking very, very good this year. And you're right, another game of 70-plus points of offense. That team can score, and they can score efficiently.
Now they just have to check off the big teams in their own tier and get those league wins, and they might be sitting very pretty. Lakeview with a big win at Girard, the upset, 48-44. The Bulldogs hold on. They were up by 10 at halftime. Girard made a little bit of a comeback, but they were able to make enough plays and make free throws down the stretch. Lakeview wins by 4.
We got to stop doubting on Lakeview, man. We need to stop. I mean, Coach Haney's going to have it out for us if we don't start supporting this Lady Bulldogs team. They've been so impressive, competitive in every game. Maggie Pavlansky is doing some great things for them over there. Props to Lakeview and the Lady Bulldogs for early season. They're looking really good.
And we've said South Range is going to win with defense. They did that last night at Jefferson. 31-27, a low-scoring affair. South Range's defense does just enough to escape the Falcons' nest with a win and move to 2-0 in the NE8.
Old barn burner basketball game, which is a lot on defense and ball movement, trying to burn clock, and that likely seems what the Lady Raiders came in with, score just enough, burn the clock, play good defense, and force the clock and force it to be a time game. And you know what? When you have great defenses like South Range is going to have, like Salem's going to have, you play that clock and you play for long possessions.
I shudder to watch the Poland South Range game, because when that happens, it's going to be so low scoring, because both those teams are absolutely defensive first teams. Oh man, that might be one, because last year it was like 29-23 and then 35-29. Wasn't high scoring at all, and they've lost a couple of scorers. Both teams have, so it'll be interesting to see how that game goes. It might be another one of those 30-27 games.
Very well could be, as it's going to be exciting to see.
Coming up Monday, I believe. Next Monday, Poland goes to South Range.
First of 2 matchups on the year, too, so something's got to give in that.
United gets the win over Southern in a slugfest, a physical game, 35-30. They get their second win in the EOAC. Springfield, they upset Brookfield. They finally get a win for that Scarlet tier that has been struggling so much against the Gray. 43-36, they get it done. Poland not phased one bit on the road trip to Niles. They still haven't had a home game. Poland opening the season with a road trip. 64-22, they beat the Red Dragons.
Poland's looking real good, and Coach Blanche again doing it again with another group of girls and playing a much more team-oriented basketball, defensive first, moving the ball a lot on offense and sharing the wealth on offense too. You have 5 girls that could legitimately go out there, get you 10 plus, and I think Coach Blanche really liking the team atmosphere of this and that family feeling that you talk about so much with the Poland community. Anthony, it's showing through very strong.
It's funny that you say team-oriented, because one of the game notes of this game, 12 different Poland players scored on the night, at least 2 points.
That's incredible. And you know he's going to get his younger players involved, and that's just Coach Blanche's mentality, and it's led to a very successful program.
Fitch with a varsity-only game at Beechwood. They won 69-28 on the road. They're looking like they're putting things together.
Offense is looking real good for the Lady Falcons, and you really like it for this young team as trying to get that team built up back to where they were just a few years ago.
Hubbard gets their first win over Struthers, and according to Anthony Romo, their first win as a program over Struthers in 11 seasons.
Nice win for Hubbard, too, as we know that's a program that's starting to turn tides, as well as Coach Levesco doing a great job over there, and they are getting some wins now, big wins inside the conference.
The Eagles were down 15-5 early. They went on a 28-0 run.
It's defense, man.
Just going to leave that there. 28-0 run. And then ended up holding on, because after that they were up 33-15, and it ended up being 43-38. So Struthers, they bounced back from that run pretty nicely and made it a game, but still Hubbard able to hold on 43-38 once
That'd be a 23-10 run opposite from Struthers, and we know it's a game of runs, but that's the key run to look at in the night. You're right, 28-0. That's a great defensive stand, and that's a great offensive completion off of a great defensive stand. Those are the runs you look for that are difference makers in a game.
Latonia gets the win over East Palestine, 40-22. Ella Gregorino with another big performance, 22 points for her to lead the Bears. You've seen her play. I've seen her play.
I told you before the game,
good,
too. She's something to watch, and she shows it again. 22-point performance. Great game for her.
What I think I saw from her a lot in the game last night compared to what I've seen from her in the past, she has improved at finishing at the rim. In years past, straight up 3-point shooter, she could shoot really well, and on and off the dribble. Like, she could get her own shot off the dribble, but not exactly the best at, driving inside, finishing at the rim with her size, obviously. She finished a couple of times through a very physical East Palestine defense that really does, get in their contact without the whistle. Some good defenses just know how to sneak in that contact and not get it called. And East Palestine's one of those teams.
That's what you call a physical defense.
It's a physical
good
defense.
physical defense. If you can sneak in that contact without getting fouled,
Ella Gregorino had a couple of ones through contact, a couple of and ones through fouls that were called, and she had an impressive game, 40-22. I was very impressed with her play.
I mean, you put Ella Gregorino, she equaled the same thing that East Palestine did too. So
Right.
I mean, that's if you want to talk about her impact as well. I mean, without her, you look at 40-22. You don't win the game without her too. So I mean, you want to talk about impact players? That's an impact player for you. She's been an impact player early on for Latonia, and the Lady Bears, for a lot of reasons, they have a lot of successes because of her this season.
Just got a text from Anthony Romo. The last Hubbard win over Struthers was January 16th, 2010. I was a junior in high school.
January 16th, 2010. Wow. That feels like an eternity ago right now. And that's a long time to go without a win over Struthers. But great job by Coach Levesco and getting it and continuing to turn that tide for the Lady Eagles.
Anthony Romo caught up with Coach Levesco. We'll hear from him a little bit later on in the show. Columbiana wins over Wellsville 58-16. The Clippers roll.
As we knew they were, too, as the Lady Clippers have looked very good this season. And like I said, that's another team we got to stop doubting. They come away with another big win, so good job for them.
Louisville, they continue to look impressive. 60-35, they win over Western Reserve.
It's a Louisville team that honestly it feels like they can mismatch anybody. They'll play in all divisions. They'll play some of the best teams in every division, and they've met the challenge most times this season. I think only one loss on the year, and it's a very, very good Louisville team that, again, can beat you from a lot of different areas.
We were sent a highlight from Leopard Nation on Twitter, and if you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. Brooke Heron threw the ball off the back of a Western Reserve defender on a baseline inbound, got it herself, went up for the layup, and scored.
Yeah, as that also happened too. Carrie English did it a couple of times. She did it once. She didn't score the first time. She did it the second time and scored on St. Thomas Aquinas last night.
It's just smart basketball. If they're not going to face you up and they're just kind of got your back to you.
Like Brandon said last night, it's street ball. It's street ball basketball mentality, but that's exactly what it was. I mean, Gary English got a bucket on it too, baseline, and it was smart plays too. But Brooke Heron, and that's another team that has high IQ talking about it, because I talked about that with the Lady Vikings. Louisville, another team, high IQ basketball team. They all know where they're supposed to be. Constant off-ball movement and constant movement with the ball makes it a very, very tough team to stop on the defensive side.
Another score for you. Badger got the win over Lordstown at home, 55-10. The Braves with a strong home win early in the season.
Great job for the Lady Braves getting a strong home win, like you said, as Badger showing up very well for the YSN network with some wins early on under the banner.
Give them that tomahawk.
The tomahawk chop.
All right. Those are your final scores. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back with some post-game interviews from those teams and more on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends: shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring. And, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, shop with confidence knowing we're ready to go the extra mile for you. With the largest selection of used vehicles in the Valley, backed by the Greenwood Advantage Warranty. Every one of our vehicles has undergone our own 126-point inspection, so it passes the most important inspection, yours. No other dealership has the extra inventory, gives you extra for your trade, and goes the extra mile for you. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
For a great vehicle and a great experience, come to Boardman Mitsubishi today. As always, our full lineup of Mitsubishi models comes with a standard 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Boardman Mitsubishi, your hometown Mitsubishi dealer since 1999.
Cocos Pizza, always supporting our community and our local athletes. Stop in on game day or score big and have it delivered right to your door. Check out our daily specials at cocospizza.com. That's Cocos Pizza, we serve it hot.
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell. DJ's being goofy over in the background. We do have post-game interviews from Hubbard's win last night with Coach Slavesco and Mary Frengus, so we're going to listen to those. We did have an interview from Noah Ricks from Lakeview, but there are some technical issues getting that uploaded into the show, but you can find it on YouTube and on the game story at ysnlive.com. So check that out as well.
Anthony Romo here with Hubbard head coach Scott Slavesco after the Eagles' 43-38 victory over Struthers tonight. Coach, first off, first victory over the Lady Cats in 11 years. How does that feel?
Oh, that feels awesome. You know, I'm just so happy for these girls. You know, they put so much time in the off season and they grind every day. And I'm just so happy for them to get this win, you know.
You guys went down 15-5 early in the second quarter, and then your girls responded with a 28-0 run. What did you say in the timeouts to really get them amped up and back into the game?
You know, I just told them, you know, that I believed in them, you know, and we got to have each other's back, even when it goes good and when it goes bad. You know, we couldn't have had a worse first quarter. You know, we've been having those lately, but we got to keep battling and having each other's back. And I just told them, you know, I believe in you guys and I love you guys. And, you know, we're going to be all right. Just keep on grinding.
Mary Frangos and Sophie Murphy both in double digits tonight. Sophie, another great game on the boards. Just talk about the collective effort of this team night in, night out. It seems like any given game, any girl can step up.
Oh, that's the thing. You know, like we have a lot of players that are stepping up. And you know, last year we've seen, and it's hard to have 2 or one person score 20, 25 points. We need, for our group to be successful, we need a collective effort. We need Liv Reese to contribute. We need Peyton Sylvester to contribute. Sophie and Mary, like you said. We need Eleni Grillis to contribute. We need Phoebe and Gabby Jones to come and give their part. And then we need Grace Narcom. We need all of them to contribute for us to be successful.
We saw Struthers at the end of the game go on a little run there. Just talk about how they can just answer at any given time. They have a lot of shooters on their team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a really good coach team. And I attribute a lot of, that to us too. We're learning to win. We are a program where we're still learning how to win. And it's in those situations, it's tough for us. And, eventually it's going to be second nature to us. But, you got to take your hat to them. They got some good players over there and a really good coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Anthony Romo here with Mary Frangos, tonight's YSN Player of the Game after Hubbard's 43-38 victory over Struthers. Mary, 13 points tonight, leading the team. Just talk about those big free throws you hit down the stretch. Were there any nerves?
Yeah, I was nervous at the beginning, but I knew they mattered, so I had to settle down and be confident in myself.
Your team now 3-1 on the season. Looking forward to the Niles game on Thursday. You guys beat them last year. What's the mindset going into that game?
We're not stopping. Our train's going forward, so we're looking to go 4-1.
Just all the girls, it was a collective effort tonight. You guys went down early. What did Coach tell you guys to get you amped up and get you back into the game?
He believed in us. We had to calm down, play our game. We were a little shaken up, so we had to play our game, get back into it, and then we settled down and got back up for halftime.
Mary Frangos, tonight's YSN Player of the Game.
Train's not stopping. I love it. That's a message to everyone that has to play Hubbard this year, Ty. You think everyone heard it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun time, especially inside the NE8, as we got to see how they're going to fare with some of these other competitors inside the conference. But no doubt Hubbard, a well-improved team from last year.
Very interested to watch the whole. I'm not before. I have Poland on Thursday, so before Thursday, I'm going to try to watch the film of that game to see how much of it was Poland literally just outmatching Hubbard and how much of it was just kind of intimidation because it's Poland and you get kind of psyched up for it, and maybe some unforced errors. Because for the rest, every other game, 4-1 for Hubbard, they just haven't looked like that team in the score that we saw in that Poland matchup last week.
Yeah, no doubt. And you know what? Looking at what they were able to do in the games prior to and the game after now, they've looked really good on the offensive end. They looked really good on the defensive end at times too. And getting that big win now inside conference play, I think, is huge for the Eagles. And it's going to, like you said, keep that train rolling. And like she said, it's going to hopefully keep the train rolling for Hubbard. And they continue to try to build that program. And like Coach Levesco said, they're still learning how to win as they're winning.
And one of the things that I think is very positive for, like Coach Levesco said, a team is still learning. Bouncing back from a score like that, that can be kind of deflating for a team that's trying to learn how to win. Because then you lose like that, you lose with a score like that. It can really get in your mind. Oh, here we go again. But it didn't. They got back on the horse even after falling down early to Struthers, obviously 15-5. They came up and got a 28-0 run and went and got the win.
Yeah, and that was the biggest thing for Hubbard too. And like you said, learning how to win and comes with basketball as a game of runs, and you need to know how to combat their runs and make your runs a little bit greater. And somewhere in between that, there's those runs that define games. And clearly, I think we were able to circle one that definitely won Hubbard the game.
Ty, it's time to come back to a Tuesday tradition that we had on Running Point during the fall with Baird Brothers returning. It's time for our Price is Right challenge. And, we saw what the voting was at yesterday without even a day into it being posted. Let's check where it's at now. And like we always do, me and you, we'll kind of guess where it's going to be at the end of the show. Now, obviously, we'll have about an hour and 20 minutes. So that's going to be gauging on our guesses or whatever it may be. And right now, the total for both boys and girls combined is around 35,000. Let's say 35,000, actually 36,000. So 36,500, somewhere around there, ballpark, not exact. If you want me to be exact, I'll get out the calculator and do it.
I don't need the exact now.
All right, because you won the football and volleyball one. You won more weeks than I did, so I'll let you take the first pick on where you want this total to be in about an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, I get the gracious opportunity of going first in this because I won the football.
But do you want do you want to defer?
I'll defer it. Yeah, I'll defer it. Go on, you pick first.
Well, I'll tell you, I do want the total, so I'm going to do that real quick. 21,676 for the girls, plus 14,933 for the boys. That's going to be 36,609. In the next hour and 20 minutes, I expect it to be at it was at 15. They went up 7,000. I'll expect it to be at 38,000. So that's just under 1,400 votes.
They're at what 30? What is the total?
36,609. And my bid for the Price is Right fans out there is 38,000. Remember, Price is Right rules. You have to have it without going over. If we both go over, then we'll have at the end of the show. We'll guess what it will be by the start of tomorrow's show, and we'll go from there.
Can't go over. Give me 30. What'd you say, 38,000? Because I have to go 200 at least. So 37,800.
That only gives me a 200 gap.
Yep. I have to give you at least a 200 gap, I think, for these
That's
ones.
what we decided in the fall, but that sucks.
I'll give you 37,800.
You're going to be like that person that says $1 all season. I just know it.
Just going to keep going with it.
Hey, we were able to get that interview with Coach Haney done by Noah Ricks. So let's hear that after Lakeview's big win over Girard real quick.
Hey, Coach, so how does it feel getting your first win in the conference of the year against Girard?
Girard's a good team. They came in with a nice record. I know they're a little banged up. We had a nice little lead, though, in the second half, and we just got to learn from that. And in this league, any win's a good win, and it doesn't get any easier. We have South Range coming to our place Thursday, and they're a good team. You get to enjoy it for about a night, and then it's back to film and looking at the next thing you got to do.
Of course, he definitely has some key players. Of course, Maggie Pavlansky stepped up to the plate late. So how does it feel knowing you had your best players come up to the top?
Yeah, I mean, I told the girls at the timeout, I said, I'm done. You figure it out. You guys, it's up to you now. You guys have played enough games. Most of you have a ton of varsity experience. It's time for you to figure this out. I'm done. And I did use the timeout. I told them I wasn't going to use it anymore. So I did tell them I lied. But I was proud of the effort. I wish we could make our foul shots and close it out even easier, but take the win.
And of course, how does it feel knowing you got 48 points on the board this evening?
Yeah, I know we can shoot the ball, and today we shot it pretty good. So I'm glad it's not 33, because I was looking at the scoreboard. I'm like, oh, we already beat that 33, so I'll take it.
All right, so last question. You got a big game coming up against South Range, a conference game on Thursday. So how will you prepare against that red-hot Raiders team?
Well, I'm going to tell you, they're aggressive on defense. They get after it. They got some scorers. We got to look at film. We got to learn. Girls got to watch film. They got to invest. That's one thing we talked about. We said, those who invest the most are the last to surrender, and it kind of worked into our favor here at the end. We didn't give up, so we got the win.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck Thursday.
Thank you.
That was Noah Ricks, our very own Noah Ricks. So we appreciate the wonderful job that he does. If you haven't heard a Noah Ricks broadcast, by the way, you gotta find out what game he's gonna be at and go listen to him, because he's a great broadcaster and he does great work. We appreciate that. What a great conversation. I like how Coach Haney said they're experienced enough to go figure it out themselves. I'm not going to do it for them. Go figure it out late in the game. That's awesome.
And that's what Coach Haney does a great job with. And that's someone we should probably be bringing back on the show. And maybe it's someone I'll be reaching out to here because he's had a lot of great success early on in the season.
I'll tell you this: if they get the home victory over South Range, he's going to be on the show. Like that's this. We're going to get him on the show.
That'd be a huge victory inside the conference.
We keep saying we said at the top of the show we got to start believing in Lakeview. Well, all of a sudden that pick on Thursday between that game is going to get a lot harder because Lakeview's playing pretty well.
Yeah, Lakeview is playing very well, and we'll see what they're made of. It's going to be a tough game for them, but hey, we've already seen Poland kind of dispatch some of these NE8 teams that have tried to, fight for the throne of the NE8. We'll see if South Range can do the same. They've already taken out Girard. They've already taken out Jefferson.
Those are two of the teams that we thought were gonna be at the top of the
Lakeview now is also all of a sudden changing everything and saying, hey, maybe you should be looking at us over here. Big win over Girard for the Lady Bulldogs.
It's funny because Lakeview lost to Struthers. Lost to Jefferson by 8. South Range beat Jefferson by 4. Matchups are different every time. Every team looks a little bit different per night. But take that for what it's worth. It should be a pretty competitive game in Cortland on Thursday.
Yeah, and it's something I'm very excited to see, and I'm curious to see how Lakeview does perform too, especially having home court advantage.
So just to recap, for our Bear Brothers Price is Right, I have 38,000. You have 37,800.
Yep.
We'll check out what it is before we sign off to see if either one of us is there. Once again, we can't go over it. If we do, we'll make another guess and see where it's at the start of tomorrow's show. We have Josh Scott coming on the show at 1:15. Don't want to forget that or make people forget that. If you're tuning in, make sure to be here at 1:15 for Josh Scott. Heartland Christian, their boys are on an incredible run right now. Their offense looks near unstoppable, and it's going to be fun to talk to him about what's been working so well for them.
Yeah, and you know what? Josh Scott is doing a great job, too, as a coach over there, and we knew that Heartland boys team was going to be successful, and there's a certain player I'm sure he's going to be pushing on the Baird Brothers list that he's going to be wanting to get the first week honors and nods on, with Berdovich dropping 59. I think he got his well-deserved honors, but I'm sure coach is going to be pushing him, too.
We also have a lot of games to pick from tonight, boys games. Once again, if you want to pick along with us, head over to our Twitter account at Running Point YSN. All the polls are in one thread, so they're easy to find. Find the first tweet and just go to all the replies and vote for the team that you think will win tonight from the boys action. We love to hear who you think will win in each matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, on the boys' side, there's a lot of great matchups tonight, so it should be an exciting night here on the network.
Yeah, let's I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 12, but I'm going to go count and make sure I'm correct before I, boast on that. Let me see. We are on wrong week. No, come on. It's a Tuesday, Ty. I'm struggling. Struggle bus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I was right. 12. 12 games on the network tonight. We're picking more than that because there are some games that are not on the network. So we are going to be picking 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 games. Plenty of chances for you to try to escape your little hole. But I'm not going to let you escape at all. In fact, I'm going to try to make it deeper.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Are you deferring, or am I getting first pick, or are you taking first?
Let's see. The advantage is for this game is first pick because the advantage for this game is second pick because then you get to know what the other. It's kind of like going on defense in the college football overtime. So I will make you pick first, Ty, and we are going to get a couple of them in. We'll take a break and then we'll come back and go to Josh Scott at 1:15.
I also want to note that none of these games, we don't list these games. These games are listed by someone else too. So there's no like gerrymandering here with the games where Anthony's getting the easier picks and I'm getting the harder picks either. It's kind of random. So
I just counted the wrong date, so I might have been wrong with 12. But there's a lot of games. So once again, it's a Tuesday. Boys basketball, we're going to start at the top of our list. It is the Urban Scholars at Lisbon Rick Daly will have the call, and Ty, it is your first pick.
Yeah, give me Lisbon in this one. I think Lisbon's looked really good. They have Baird Brother Big Dog nods on Sifty going on this week, so go ahead and give me Lisbon.
You know, before Saturday, this pick got a little bit harder because the Urban Scholars really put up a good game against West Branch and only lost by 10. I don't know how much of that was West Branch, struggling in their first game, and how much of it was the Urban Scholars showing a lot of grit and a lot of heart. I'm still going to say Lisbon gets the win at home. Lisbon. Give me Lisbon. But, I wouldn't be surprised if this is closer than some of the other Urban Scholar scores that we've seen this year.
Yeah,
up next,
it'll be interesting. They might be able to keep it competitive.
my first pick this time, Austin Town Fitch at Poland. It'll be Noah Doughty with the call. 7 o'clock tip-off. This one's tough. My game plan backfired because I get the tough one. Fitch looked improved. I don't think we've only seen Poland once, and it was a loss to a really good Howland team. Give me Poland at home.
I'm going to naturally split with you only because Fitch had a lot of success with Hudson's height and size on the interior. And not that Ursland didn't bring that, but Ursland had Terrence Pankey, and Terrence Pankey was the difference maker. Fitch looked improved, and they looked like they could have pulled that one out. I think the Falcons are a good enough team to be able to win on the road against Poland, but Christian Coliseum was obviously going to make things a little bit harder.
A reminder that the champion JFK game has been moved to this February 5th. That was scheduled for tonight. It is not happening. And so we'll move from that game to a game that won't be on the network, but is happening. 7 o'clock tip-off. Columbiana at Brookfield. Ty, it's your first pick this time.
Columbiana's looked really good, so it's Brookfield. Give me Brookfield in this one.
Brookfield, they got the big 3-point win over over Hubbard on Friday. Columbiana, they've looked up and down. They had a tough loss against Beaver Local, but bounced back. It's at Brookfield. The toss-up goes to the home team. I'll go with Brookfield.
Yeah,
Right,
I think the Warriors will be.
Oh, you know what? I want to go to our fan vote. Jeez. It is just Struggle Bus Tuesday, Ty. You're supposed to be holding me accountable. What are you doing? It's your fault. I'm blaming you.
It's all on me.
It's all on you, Ty. Let's go to the fan vote real quick for some of the ones that we've already said. Once again, this is easy. You go to the first tweet in the thread, and you just find the replies and make your picks. So Lisbon and Urban Scholars split 50-50 right now. Fitch and Poland also split 50-50. Jeff and the next one in our lineup is Columbiana Brookfield. Let's see where they're at. Go down a little bit. Columbiana has a 100% to nothing lead over Brookfield, so they're not agreeing with us. Not agreeing with us. That's okay. You know, if our fans want to call us idiots every now and then, we're not offended by it. Crestview goes to United. My first pick. Give me United.
Yeah, I'll take United as well.
50-50 split on the fan vote.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting game. Crestview, of course, has great athletes. Yeah. I thought about splitting with you. I'll stay United.
You gonna stay?
I'll stay United.
He's staying. Crestview's gonna rebound pretty well, and I think that'll give United some problems, but I think they'll get through it. Your first pick for East at Canfield. Richie Giuliano will have the call there. By the way, Aaron Moser is going to be heading to United for that call between the Rebels and Eagles.
East is always going to play tough. They're going to be athletic. They're going to be fun to watch. Canfield's looked so good, though, and with Canfield being at home, I don't know if I could pick against the Cardinals. I'm just maybe staying too loyal to the AAC, but give me Canfield and the Cardinals in this one.
You know, I think you're right. I think Canfield's looked really impressive. They're obviously in our power rankings as well. Excuse me. Give me Canfield.
2 picks for the Cardinals then, as we both pick another AAC school, but we do split on the Falcons and Poland, so we'll have to see, as a lot of the schools in the AAC and I think the Steel Valley are active tonight too, so it should be fun.
Next on the docket, we have Harrison Central at Beaver Local. It'll be CJ Schroeds on the call there.
Your pick first?
I'm not going to go against the banner. Give me Beaver Local.
Harrison Central was pretty good, I thought. Yeah, give me Beaver Local, though.
Not good enough to risk it for the biscuit, I guess. Next one, not on the network, but is happening. Heartland Christian going to Jackson Milton. We're going to be talking to Coach Scott. We'll get a preview of this game with him. This is, it's your first pick, but I don't know if this one needs a lot of thinking the way Heartland Christian's been playing.
I don't know, though, because Coach Procopio still gets his boys up, and that squad can still play, and Jackson Milton has been known to surprise some teams before. I think Jackson Milton has the defense that can slow this Heartland team down, and I think that Heartland, you might not
swerve Heartland?
You might not see Heartland score as much as they're used to, because I do want to give props to Coach Procopio and his squad over there. There's still going to be a defensive-minded team, even though they're young. But that is going to be my determining factor in choosing this one, is just they're still a little bit young. They have some learning to do, and Jonathan Berdovich is an X factor. And he still has the ability to change games. So I'm going to go Heartland Christian, but I don't think it's as lopsided at this point as everyone may think it is. I think Coach Procopio and that Jackson Milton squad is going to be a tough one.
Tied to swerve Jackson Milton really hard. Really hard. That's rough. I'll pick Heartland Christian as well. You can't go off of what their offense is doing, and I think Jackson Milton has a lot of new to varsity guys that are going to be struggling on defense.
Yeah, and that's going to happen with early season bumps, especially with younger teams. So I just take the experience and just what Jonathan Murdovich has been able to do early in the season.
Howland goes to Newton Falls. I believe your pick first, or my pick. I don't even remember.
I just picked first on the last one.
There you go. You keep me in check. I'm going to go with Howland on the road.
Yeah, give me the Tigers 100% all day of Howland.
Right. Let's pause there, and we'll take a quick break on the other end. We'll preview this Coach's Corner with Josh Scott, and we'll get back to our picks. Don't go anywhere. Running Point brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Working with your family can be stressful at times, but because they're family, you know that you're going to get a loving, honest answer, even when things don't make sense to any problem. Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-res futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Jimmy Sutman here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and two of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell. And we before we get to Josh Scott at 1:15, I want to go over the All-Ohio football list that was released last night and today. Division 4, let's start here. First team in Division 4, DeMarcus McElroy from Ursuline, Drew DeShields from West Branch, Nick Wilson from West Branch, Mason Ludwig from East Liverpool, and Greg Rockwell from West Branch. So the Warriors get 3 players on to the Division 4 All-Ohio first team.
Yep, and well-deserved in those 3 players as well. I've gotten a chance to see DeMarcus McElroy go off, too, in Greenwood Chevrolet Stadium for 300-plus yards as well. And to know he's the real deal as well, well-deserved honors for him. And as well, I have never seen Mason Ludwig play, but I'm sure Mikey McKenzie and Tommy Pease down there in East Liverpool country would definitely have something to say about him.
Some more for first team is Tyreek Donlow from Ursuline gets on, as well as Stephen Mara from West Branch.
Yeah, as both of them too. As Stephen Mara is one of those players that's really good, impactful player. Got big dog nods as well.
Division 4 second team All-Ohio, Brady Shannon from Ursuline, Jackson Johnson from Salem, Dean Boyd from Ursuline, Blaze Exline from Salem, Brian Frasco from Ursuline, Isaac Lucas from Ursuline, Michael Coffey from West Branch, and Jacqueline Irving from Ursuline. So a lot of Ursuline, a lot of Salem, a couple of more West Branch kids.
Yeah, a lot of guys on Ursuline on that second team too, and that's why they made it as far as they did with a lot of talent on that roster.
Division 4 third team, you have Ben Tolson from West Branch and Thomas Eglai from West Branch.
A couple more West Branch nods there for the Warriors.
Then you have the Division 4 All-Ohio honorable mention, Austin Klein, the quarterback from Beaver Local. You have Devin Toothman from East Liverpool, Caleb Adams, another West Branch guy, Carson Schockman from Salem, Steven Solik from Poland, Michael Gordon from Poland, Dylan Smith from Poland, and Nassim Lloyd from Girard.
So a few of the players in the NE8 getting some nods as well for Division 4 honors.
Some more honorable mention here for you. Kristen Colosimo from Poland, Jack Adoe from Girard, Connor Strain from Girard, and Dorian Jackson from Beaver Local.
Well-deserved honors, too, to be at least noted, as well as we know how good they are here on the network.
We go to Division 5 first team, Billy Skirpak from South Range, Dylan Dominguez from South Range, Michael Lally from South Range, Logan Cormel from South Range.
Four Raiders on the honors as well, and well-deserved there, as we know how good South Range is in Division 5 football.
Division 5 second team, Jacob Brooks from South Range and Tyler Imish from South Range.
Just noting the entire Raiders roster for Division 5.
Division 5 third team, Bailey Ryan from South Range. Division 5 honorable mention, you have Anthony Cusick from Crestview, Aiden Leone from South Range, Shane Lindstrom from South Range, Rockland Batura from Crestview, and Connor Jones from South Range.
Yeah, as the Raiders obviously having a lot of guys on there with good reason, too. It was a very good roster this year for South Range.
And, that's not surprising. You'll look at it, and obviously those are all from Dana Ballish, who does a great job. So thank you from the sports director at 21 WFMJ. We also have stories last night from Division 6 and Division 7, All Ohio, headlined by a lot of Springfield Tigers and a lot of JFK Eagles, obviously.
Yeah, as both those teams made it very, very far, respectively, in the playoffs and look to be forces again next year, especially on JFK's side.
And then a couple of soccer honors that I want to kind of come across, as we saw two South Range players get honored with high school All-American teams. I guess you would say on the All-American team. Gabby Lamparty from the South Range girls squad was named to the I want to get the actual the 2021 Fall High School Girls All-America team, and this high honor recognizes Lamparty as one of the best high school soccer players in the nation. So it's a pretty high honor for Gabby Lamparty to not just be named All Ohio, but to be named an All-American from the high school ranks.
Yeah, absolutely. As nice honors there for Lamparty for what she's been able to do on the soccer field, too, as a lot of talent in soccer in this area, both on the boys and girls side.
And then when you go to South Range, Connor Jones has the same honor, as he was selected for the 2021 High School All-America team on the boys side. Camden Thomas, I don't know why I said Connor Jones. Camden Thomas from South Range boys soccer. So South Range soccer getting dual action from the boys and girls on that All-America team in the high school realm.
And great honors for them, too, as their successful seasons well-deserved it and got them those honors.
And, I think they're like, that just is we talked about it all soccer season. It's a testament to the talent level here in the area. The fact that we've had, I believe, 3 straight seasons of someone making it to the state semifinal in soccer in the area. So it's a testament to that raise of talent level the raise of interest, the raise of engagement in soccer. And we're seeing that in the younger levels. Now we're going to see it, that paid dividends in the future of soccer as we see more and more players like your Gabby Lampardis, like your Camden Thomases coming through the ranks.
It's exciting. It's a sport that continues to grow and continues to grow in the area and starting to get a lot of support.
I think we're starting to see, and I could, this is just my opinion. I think we're starting to see the ripple effects of parents not wanting their kids to play football. The more concussions that we saw and the more research we saw in the brain damage, we're starting to see those kids that grew up with that, maybe 10 or 12 years ago, come through now getting into high school because they spent their young lives getting a little bit more into soccer than maybe you would see football maybe 10 or 12 years ago. So I think we're starting to see maybe the ripple effects of that as these young athletes start to get into the high school realm.
That's very, very well possible. And also you got to remember too, video games play a huge part in the youth movement. FIFA is a huge game too, surprisingly amongst younger generations than you'd be surprised. And I think that started even back 10 years ago too, is when it started really gaining interest. And of course, younger kids look up to their older siblings or older kids and what they're playing. And when FIFA started becoming a game everyone was playing, that started gauging interest too, I would think at a younger age. So very well could be.
And, real quick, I also think the success of the national team on the women's side has helped grow the game of women's soccer as well. We see them win World Cups and be, right in the front line of attention on sports. So that has to draw women to the game as well. We do have Josh Scott in the green room. We're going to bring him on, and we want to remind everybody that Coach's Corners with Josh Scott are presented very proudly by the community caregivers of the Valley. So, Coach Scott, thank you so much for joining us today, and we appreciate your time. And, man, what a good start to the season you guys are having.
Yeah, thank you very much. I love getting on and talking with you guys. I listen to you quite a bit. Just really appreciate everything you're doing. And, we're really excited about our season and what we're doing so far, for sure.
Coach, just talking about your offense, I think there's no doubt in what you guys have been able to do. It's been very impressive. Obviously, we know Jonathan Berdovich is a huge guy that is definitely contributing in that, but it's obviously a team effort, and the team itself is scoring in high bunches. What do you kind of attribute to the success of that team, and what was it that you worked on in the offseason that you are seeing now pay off on the court?
Yeah, we're just we talked a ton about pace. And trying to work a lot on skill and being able to shoot the ball, handle pass, all the fundamental stuff over the summer, and took a lot of pride in that. And after after the COVID summer that we had last year, it's something that we kind of looked at and said, wow, look at the value of, obviously you can go off to leagues and camps and everything, but there's so much value in just getting better at home a little bit too. And I think that was the challenge for all of our boys. Was everybody knows Jonathan Berdovich, and they should. He's an elite type player, and it was more about challenging the rest of the team to say, what about you, and how can I impact this game? And I don't want to be that throwaway player that just everybody else is worried about one kid not gonna respect my game too. So a lot of those kids just are playing with a chip on the shoulder.
I think when seeing your scores, everyone's going to talk about your offense, and rightfully so. Like we said, they've been really scoring at a very high clip, and they should be talked about. They're putting in the work. Talk about your defense, because these have not been 75 to 70 games. They've been 75 to 40 games. Your defense is complementing your offense and letting you guys really play well on both sides of the floor.
Yeah, I think that that's something else we've worked a ton on, is that we'll pace both ways. We're trying to get up the floor pretty quick, and we're also trying to slow the other team down and maybe make them uncomfortable a little bit. And it's just something that we've said this is going to be our identity. And fortunately enough for this team, I think we found that identity sooner than even last year's team. It's just kind of it was almost out of necessity, just because we're not very big. So all the guys that we put out there, everybody is a capable shooter, everybody's a capable passer, ball handler, and a willing defender. And that's something we're trying to get better with. Truthfully, I think that there's some of the kids, and especially over the years, Heartland's been a team that wasn't the strongest every single year, but we've tried to improve on that. But I'll go into the locker room and at halftime and go, hey, there's no reason that we've given up 21 points at half here. It's because of X, Y, Z, the things that we control. And the kids are looking around like, hey, but we're up 20. And it's like, if you want to have those expectations of having a very successful program, you got to learn that you got to do all the little things the right way. So that's something we're trying to improve on for sure.
I'm sure you know, as well as a lot of the Heartland community, that Jonathan Berdovich is up for Big Dog honors. So I do want to give you the opportunity. Obviously, the community and people outside know what he's able to do on the court, the X's and O's of the game. I want you to kind of give me an inside the locker room on reasons why Big Dog honors are deserved for someone like Berdovich, and why he is more than just the 59 points on a night or the 20 plus points on any given night for your team.
Yeah, you know what? I think that we talked to the other kids, the other players, and I've told them, they've earned the right to shoot the ball and have the green light and play at the pace that they're doing because of all the hard work they've put in. But you look at a kid like Jonathan, and since day one when he came over, there's nobody that's going to outwork him. It's just impossible. He's the hardest working kid I've ever seen live anyway. I mean, it's crazy. He's the kid that wants to shoot after basketball games. He's the kid that, we have practice at 8 a.m. just this past Saturday. Can I get in at 7 after a Friday night game? And you just don't have that in today's world. I mean, it's just the truth. And I mean, he goes and does all the extras. He has personal training. He has skills training. He goes above and beyond, and he's just put the time in. And again, it's one of those things, there's times where I was just telling another coach I was talking to today, sometimes you just let him go. It's like, the kids call it heat check, but, he's just that type of kid. He's just earned that right. And he's earned everything he's gotten, and he's had to work really hard for what he's gotten. Because obviously he wasn't blessed with like 6'5", height. He's a shorter guard, but he makes up for it in all of his skill, that he's able to show. So
let's talk in a little bit more detail about your last win over Latonia. You guys won 74-38. Talk about what went really right in that game and what went well and what you saw from your team from an execution standpoint in that game by itself.
I was really excited to see our shooting early. Latonia came and they were the first team to really zone us, and we were really interested to see how our kids would respond. But I've told our guys that they should be licking their chops. If there's a zone, then that means you're going to get a set shot somewhere, and it's probably going to be from outside. And I'm actually a lot different than, if you ask my former Sebring kids, putting up 35, 43s in a game, they would have laughed and said, there's no way coach would allow that. But, I've tried to adapt and learn. And, for this team, fire it up. We're capable. That's a good shot for us. And we hit 11, I want to say 11 threes in the first half, out of that zone, and different kids were hitting them. And so I was really excited about that. Now we definitely cooled off after. I think we only made 12 total after that. But I think the kids at halftime, heard coach talking about moving the ball and trying to get to the basket a little bit too. But it was definitely just good to see our execution against the zone early on, just because we hadn't seen that yet.
Looking at it too, we know that defensively, this is going to be a tough matchup with Jackson Mountain that you're going to be having coming up. Looking at this matchup though with the Blue Jays, what is that offense going to need to kind of operate in to kind of curb that defense that Jackson Mountain is going to bring, as well as on the defensive end? What are you going to need to do to slow down that Blue Jays offense that has a lot of newer faces this year?
Yeah, I think, probably just getting them uncomfortable, because they're going to be very comfortable in their home setting. And, Coach Procopio does such a good job over there. He always has his kids fired up and ready to play, and they always play physical, but they do it the right way. And that's what's really cool about them. And we have a lot of respect for Jackson Milton. And, we've told our kids, this is a huge game for us. And every game, everybody, 4-0 is great and all those things, but we can't let that get to our head, because our opponents continually get tougher. Jackson Milton's a very good defensive team year in, year out. Louisville's undefeated on Friday. We've got Crestview, who just played Louisville tough after that over in Cleveland next week. And, you just go right down that list and you keep going. I'm not the guy that likes to look too far ahead, but I've tried to use that as an example that our games continually get tougher and tougher. And, we're just going to have to make teams uncomfortable. I think that's the biggest thing is don't let them run their stuff because we're not the type of team that can just sit back. If you watch the United game, Steph and Jarrett had 23 points because we were getting into the half court and they were just lobbing it in and we have no one to stop a big guy like that. So, it's just playing our game at our pace and making the other team uncomfortable.
The more you win, the more you succeed this year, especially if you keep going on this undefeated pace. I know that the more effort you're going to get from the teams you play, the more target on your back you're going to have, the bigger target, I should say. Have you had conversations with not just the players, but the coaching staff about how a mentality might change a little bit as you get further along and teams that target might get a little bit bigger and how that mentality has to change between underdog and favorite in games?
Yeah, I think that's just something we all have to get used to here at Heartland. And I think, I always try to keep our kids grounded. I think that's super important. And it's all about respecting every single team that we play and having that true respect for our opponent. And I just think that that's something they're going to have to learn. And sometimes it might be through a loss. It might be, a difficult practice. You don't know, but it just, those things happen, but it's about how we adjust. And we had some of that last year too. It's like those kids have never, Stephen Baker graduated last year. He came up to me and at one point in the season, he said, I just don't know how to handle these expectations. This is not something I've ever been used to and been a part of. And, as a coach, you don't think much of it because, you're just, I live for practices and I get excited for those. And then, the games are more about just let the kids go showcase what we've done. But I don't think into that too much. I don't worry about, what's our record supposed to be, look at like the preseason and say, okay, we should win 15 games this year or whatever. I don't worry about that because that takes care of itself. It's more about our mentality going in and, we just have to do a good job as a staff is keeping these guys grounded and understanding that, the schedule, it definitely gets tougher. Not that there's, we've played some good teams already, but these teams that are coming up, they're, Urban Academy, for example, I just watched them play West Branch to like a 10-point game. And, that's a team that we beat twice last year pretty handily, and it's not the same team. So, we just have to constantly remind our guys that we have to respect these opponents that are coming up.
Coach, obviously every coach goes into a season trying to be prepared for anything and always expect the unexpected, but any early season surprise with the team, whether it be on the floor, off the floor, in the locker room, with a certain individual, just any early season surprises with the team?
Nothing crazy. I would say the biggest surprise for this team is just the maturity level of our kids because we have such a mix of, we have 6 seniors, in what we call our varsity 12 and guys that come in. We have 6 seniors, 3 juniors, and 3 more sophomores that come in and play big minutes. So we have some youth infused with some of those older guys. And a lot of the older guys were playing JV last year too, as juniors and sophomores. So, I've seen just a lot of maturity from the guys, and it's really crazy that, I don't have to get on them about, hey, pay attention to what I'm saying, or, it's just like they come in, they have a workman-like attitude and not a lot of goofing off. I actually said we need to go bowling or something just because we need to go have some fun because the kids a lot of times are just, they want to come in, they get their job done and off they go. So I've said that's something that we actually kind of need to infuse in our team. I think is just to have a little, breath of fresh air of just, hey, let's just hang out for a minute instead of, constantly go. But I think it's just something they've taken pride in and they're learning to have those expectations. So that's definitely been a pleasant surprise for our team.
Coach, everyone knows that great teams always strive to get better at things no matter how good things are going. You're sitting at 4-0, your offense is scoring a lot, your defense is playing well. What kind of things do you still want to see improvements on going forward in the season?
I think it's just the fundamental stuff that we can take care of. Those are things like I mentioned earlier. I think we just need to shore up some things defensively, and our communication needs to improve. I think we talked about that the last time I was on. That communication was really important to me. It's definitely not good enough yet. And the beauty about our team is I think we're nowhere near the ceiling. I don't think that our potential has not been tapped all the way yet. So I feel like we can definitely improve in a lot of areas. But obviously we're doing some things really, really well right now, but there's other things that we can improve on. And that starts, I think, at the defensive end. I know, we held Latonia in the 30s, but, we also gave up 70 in a game. We've given up 60. That comes with extra possessions. I understand that. And I told the kids, I definitely will sympathize with that, but there's just way too many right now plays that we can control defensively and on the offensive too, but mostly on the defensive end that we can control and fix. And we're going to need to as we get further into the season and play some of these really tough opponents.
I know, obviously, that the community behind Heartland Christian is a very strong one, too, and one that supports you guys very, very well. So just talk a little bit about how important that community support has been early on in the season, and give them kind of a calling if anyone's on the fence about going out to Jackson Mona supporting you guys on this one, what you're going to need for that road victory.
Yeah, it's truly like an extended family. Heartland has such a uniqueness about the school. I always kind of wondered what it would be like. I was always in the public schools and it's been really amazing so far. It's been really just a real blessing to be with all of these people who really support you and treat you like you're an extended family member of their own. It's their willingness to help, just their willingness to allow us to coach the way that we'd like to. And their support it's been really special and something that we, as a staff, my dad and I especially, but we talk about that a lot. It's just, it's refreshing. And it's something that we just really cherish right now. The fact that, we have, outspoken people within the Heartland community that really are supporting what we're doing and believing in us. And that means the world. I think it shows, it just shows with the crowd, the amount of crowd that we have, and the success of the program. It's not a one person thing. It's not Josh Scott came in and did this. It takes a village to do that. And I think that it starts with great parenting, Susie Shields and what she's done as the athletic director for us since we've started and provided for us. It goes right down the line. So.
Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. It was great to catch up with you and get a little bit of a insight on what's been going on so well in these first 4 games. Good luck tonight. Me and Ty both picked you in our game picks. No pressure at all, though.
Thank you. I really appreciate that and hope to talk to you guys again soon. It's always a pleasure.
You're always welcome on the show, Josh. So
hey,
thank you for coming on.
Okay, thank you guys. All right, bye-bye.
That was Josh Scott, the head coach over in Heartland Christian. We want to thank him for coming on. We also want to thank the community caregivers of the Valley for being a gracious sponsor of Coach's Corners with Josh Scott and Heartland Christian. So we thank them, we thank him, and what a wonderful guy to talk to. We love having him on.
Yeah, and Coach Scott does a great job over there, and it's going to be exciting for what Heartland's going to be able to bring tonight in this matchup. It's going to obviously, I think, be a tough one, and Coach Procopio is going to have those guys ready defensively. And like he said, and like Coach Scott said, it's going to get progressively tougher. So we'll see if Heartland they meet new challenges if they're ready for it.
Let's continue. You know what? Let's take our last break of the day, and then we'll continue our game picks on the other end. Don't go anywhere. Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, shop with confidence knowing we're ready to go the extra mile for you. With the largest selection of used vehicles in the Valley, backed by the Greenwood Advantage Warranty. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
My guy keeps it 100% of the time. He wants all 100, won't settle for 99. And it's more than stats because there's people in those numbers. And I was one of the lost sheep. I'm so glad he cares for all 100. I'm 100% safe, 100% free, 100% love. I can be 100% me. He gave all 100 when they put him up on that tree. That's 100% passion for 100% free. So if I play in front of 100, or if I play in front of 2, there's an audience of 1 getting 100% of what I can do.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience, WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit wrswealth.com. Good luck, athletes.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and clarity that makes it worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Aaron Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
Cocos Pizza, proud to announce our pizza buffet's back every Wednesday at our Boardman and Campfield locations. Adults only $7.99 and kids only $4.99, and $2 beer starting at 8 o'clock. That's Cocos Pizza. We serve it hot.
Every customer has a story, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
Welcome back to Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell. And Ty, it's time to continue our picks. We stopped a little bit halfway through. We're going to continue to run through them here for the last several minutes of the show. Where did we leave off? Do you remember? Because
I thought it was Newton Falls, Springfield, honestly.
Newton Falls isn't playing Springfield. So
Or
that's
not Newton Falls, Spring. It was definitely Howland, Newton Falls, Howland. I'm sorry. It was two Tigers. I knew it was two Tigers, right?
And we both picked Howland, right?
Yes.
All
Newton
right,
Falls, Springfield. I'm sorry. Springfield. I'm sorry.
We move on, and I believe it's your first pick. I think I picked Howland first. LeBray at Niles, 7 o'clock. Dom O'Brien will have the call.
Give me Niles in this one. Niles has looked really good. They've been close in these matchups. I think they could finally put it all together. And LeBray is going to be tough, but give me Niles in this one.
I got a 5-point lead. I can afford to be a little bit risky. I'm going to split with you and say LeBray gets the win on the road.
They very well might, but I just think Niles at home, they've shown a lot this year, and they've been impressive. I think they're going to be able to pull it off.
Liberty at McDonald. This is a 7 o'clock tip, and Alec Caberna will be on the call. And it is my first pick. Give me McDonald at home.
Yeah, I can't go against my man, Coach Franciscelli. Give me McDonald as well.
Oh, geez. I got to get the fan vote. Got to get the fans out there. While I'm doing that, Ty, make your pick for Madison at Jefferson, 7 o'clock, not on the network.
Give me the banner. I'll fly with the Falcons still. Give me Jefferson.
So McDonald is up 100% to none on Liberty, and LeBray is up 100% to none on Niles. And then Jefferson is up 100% to none on Madison. A lot of one-sided votes today.
Yeah, early on, add me onto the train. I'll go with Jefferson as well.
I'll pick Jefferson too to get the win. Rock that banner, you know it. So
Maplewood at Badger, Anthony.
Maplewood. I'm not believing in the Maplewood mighty syrup pourers. No syrup here today. Badger bounces back from their loss over the weekend and beats Maplewood. I'm taking the Braves.
Yeah, I'll take Badger as well. Matt Morrison on the call with that one tonight. And it's Pymatuning Valley at Wyndham tonight as well.
This one's tough because I know Pymatuning Valley is a really good team. They knocked South Range out of the tournament last year, went to the district championship, gave Springfield a pretty good game. I don't know how much they lost, and I know Wyndham is also pretty good. This is going to be a good game, I'm telling you. It's your first pick. Thank God.
Yeah. You picked. Yeah, you had Badger.
I was previewing it for you.
Yeah. I'm gonna rock with the Bombers. Bombers looked good. They almost pulled it off against a very good Garrettsville team. I think they're gonna get better as they get players back. I don't know when Hood's coming back, but I still think they looked really good. Give me Wyndham in this one.
You know what? I'm playing with a lead. I'm not confident enough in Pymatuning Valley to risk that lead. I will take Wyndham and not split with you.
Gonna try to keep a hold of your lead. You got first pick though as Southeast goes to Lowville.
Plus, I get to rock the banner a little bit. This one is on the network. Eric Hughes will have the call, 7 o'clock tip. Southeast coached by Mike Mattizi. And we know that Mattizi coaching family is just all very, very good. They beat South Range 65-50. Lowville hasn't looked amazing. They've won, but not handedly. Give me Southeast to go on the road and get the win over the Rockets.
Yeah, that sounds good. I do want to agree with you, but I'm thinking about splitting, just trying to get Western Reserve.
Calculated risk, because you're either gonna come back or you're gonna dig yourself.
Give me Lowville.
All
Me Lowville. Give me the height of Lowville. Give me Balone. Give me Banovsky. Give me Lowville.
It's your first pick as Talmadge comes into town to face a Boardman team that's number 1 on our power rankings and coming off a big win over Cheney. 7 p.m. tip. Donnie Riccatelli with the call.
The only question I have is Boardman going to be able to combat the 3-point shooting at Talmadge that I know consistently year in and year out is always good, because Fitch is another team that plays them. Talmadge always consistently, I feel like, visits the AAC. Talmadge is going to be really good. It's going to be high and hard hitting. But I've been sticking with the AAC pretty much in a lot of my picks this season, and I think Boardman might be one of the best, if not the best, on that boys' side in the AAC. Give me the Spartans tonight.
It's still early for Boardman. They got the big win. How much are they going to be able to do consistently? What are they going to be able to do consistently? We don't know. We don't know. But because I also don't know anything about Talmadge, and I haven't seen them like you have, I can't go against the number one team in our power rankings. I'll pick Boardman to get the win at home.
Next up,
No split there. No split
Ursuline at Lakeview, though, Anthony.
Ursuline at Lakeview. Ursuline looked shaky against Gerard, good against Fitch. And it's my first pick. I'll pick Ursuline to go on the road and get the win in Cortland.
I'll pick Ursuline as well. They're already off to a good start. 2 games of holding opponents under 50 points. That's always a goal for them. They are able to do that as well. They should win a lot of games. I think Coach Gunther's got this team really focused up. Young guys are stepping up, and when they get their football guys back, give me Ursuline.
Yeah, maybe football guys back maybe by Friday, you think? Maybe after a week of practice?
Probably. We'll have to see too. I'm not exactly sure. We'll see. There might be 1 or 2 on tonight. I'm not sure exactly how many are converting over and what the situation is, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure there's definitely at least some guys coming in from the football team though.
Lakeview School has that one covered. It will be on the network, and it is a 7:00 tip. We go to Valley Christian going to Campbell Memorial. That's your game. And you get the first pick on your game too. And this one in Campbell. Campbell is high on our power rankings, looking to make some moves.
Yeah, and they're going to be high on our power rankings, and I'm pretty sure I ranked them pretty high on my personal one too. So I think in this one, I think Campbell's going to be impressive. I think Valley Christian's going to give them a fight. I did get a chance to see Valley Christian last year. I know some of the guys Valley Christian's bringing back this year are going to be very good, very tough, and very hard fighting. It's going to be a team that Coach Carroll is always going to have figured out too. He's always going to get them an identity, and he does a great job coaching over there. But I think with everything that Campbell's bringing back, they're going to be tough to beat, and I think they're going to be impressive all season long. Give me Camel tonight.
I agree. I can't. It's early in the season for the boys. No one's played more than maybe 3 or 4 games. So it's hard to tell if Campbell's going to be able to do this consistently throughout the season. But right now, they haven't shown me anything that says that they're not. So I got to pick Campbell to get the win, especially at home behind their fans. I was there against Hubbard. They were getting excited. They were getting loud. They were happy that basketball is back in Campbell. And it's going to be a rocking gym for you. I think Campbell's going to get the win.
Yeah, it should be a fun night tonight. I'm excited for it.
Next on the docket, Warren Harding going to Cheney. 7:00 tip. Jamie Thompson and Anthony Romo on the call in Youngstown.
And this is your first pick, good sir. And this is. I have no. I don't feel bad for.
But we all know who you're going to pick because you have a sweetheart in this game. So,
I do have one in this game, but I also have been very loyal to the AAC in my picking today, though, as well.
Hopefully, you won't be loyal to the one AAC team that's not on that wall over there. So, let's go. Cheney bouncing back over their loss against Boardman. I think they're going to be really fired up, wanting to make a statement, and I think they get the win over Warren Harding.
Warren Harding always is going to bring athletes, and this is going to be another one of those games like you're going to see in like Cheney East, where it's going to be physical in nature. There's going to be guys that are going to be moving a lot, and it's going to be a lot of high-moving, fast-paced action, and it's going to be a fun matchup. From what I've seen from Cheney, they've been really good this year. On the other end, though, Harding always has a good program in place. I don't know exactly what Harding is bringing back, though, is the biggest question. I'll ride with this one's tough. I want to split with you more just because I want to try to get points back, but I don't know if I'm confident enough to split on this one.
Don't be chasing points, Ty. That's a golden rule in coaching.
Give me Cheney. Give me Cheney.
We them boys. We move on from that to the last game on the docket. West Branch going to South Range. I'll be on the call there. 7:00 tip. It's your first pick this time. The Raiders trying to get their first win of the season against a West Branch team. They got in a battle with Urban Scholars, but was able to pull it out 61-51 on Saturday for their first win and first game of the season.
I think this is a West Branch team that, was just having some first game hiccups. You might see some early season hiccups, but I think West Branch has more of their identity figured out. I think South Range still is trying to figure out their identity kind of right now. I think they have have a place of where they want to be. And I think they just need to execute more, and they need to get guys more up to speed. I think West Branch is further along in that. Give me the Warriors tonight on the road for the big win.
South Range is still going to play impressive defense. They're still defensive minded, but from what I've seen, and I've only seen the one game against Louisville, granted. They've only played 2 games, but right now they just don't have the scores that I think West Branch does, and I think that's going to come back and hurt them. I don't think they're going to slow down West Branch enough to keep up with them. I think South Range would need this game in the low 50s to high 40s to kind of get the win, and I don't see them holding West Branch down that much. And I keep picking against South Range at home when I'm going to call the games. It's going to be bad mojo.
You're really doing a great job over there.
No one can call me a homer.
You're just an enemy is what you are. You just walk in and nobody likes you.
I'm going to pick West Branch to get this win.
You walk in and no one from West Branch likes you because they know you're a South Range alumni, and no one from South Range likes you because you're picking against them every game.
Why not? I'm the bad guy, I'm the emperor.
You're the villain. That's what you are. You're just a villain.
I'm the villain. Hey, the emperor lasted 9 episodes of Star Wars, so I'm okay with that.
We'll see. We'll see what happens tonight. As South Range always has been able to surprise us, at least on the girls' side, they've surprised.
Last year, they surprised everybody and really took it to Springfield in one of those big games in South Range. So they're always capable of winning. They have guys that know how to win. I just haven't seen the scoring ability yet. That's why I can't pick them.
Yeah, and I mean early season, so we'll have to see how they well develop.
Okay, since it was really hard to go between the schedules and the Twitter to the Twitter.
The Twitter.
It did be good. Let's just go through the fan votings for the rest of the game real quick. That way we'll catch up. Wyndham is up 100% to none. Southeast is up 100%. Let's see. Talmadge up 100%. Oh, no one believing in Boardman. That hurts. Ursuline has 5 votes all to them. So a lot of people on Ursuline. You look at Camel, they're 100% with 4 votes on their side against Valley Christian. Cheney is 100%. West Branch, South Range split 50-50 between 6 votes. So 3 people thinking South Range, 3 people thinking West Branch. That's one of the closer ones today.
Yeah, and it might end up being closer than what we think too, as West Branch still trying to figure things out. Early season too, anything can happen.
All right, Ty, let's go. As we are inching towards the end of this show, let's go to the Baird Brothers Big Dog of the Valley voting and see where our total is at. We've had about an hour and 20 minutes since we last checked, and right now the girls' total is at 21,869. Hasn't moved that much. And the boys' total is at 15,113. I think we both went over, Ty. 21,869 plus 15,113. 36,982. Yeah, it didn't jump that much in this particular hour. We were given the bad luck. So that's not the end of the game, Ty. We always have to have a winner. We can't tie. This isn't soccer on Running Point. So now with it being at, you want to wait a couple minutes and see where it's at, or do you want to just go from where it's at right now compared to where it's going to be tomorrow
at the show? Let's give them a full day.
Okay. So we'll give you guys another 7 minutes. It's 1:48 right now. We'll come back to you. We'll get the total, and then me and Ty will end the show by saying where we think it'll be at the start of tomorrow's show.
Give them a little bit of time.
Time keeps ticking away. By the way, on tomorrow's show, we're going to have Wrestling Wednesdays with Gary Allsizer, and we're finally going to have some results to talk about.
Yeah, we're always excited to have Gary Allsizer on to talk about wrestling. And now, like you said, we're going to have results to talk about with the Boardman quad match over the weekend that happened Saturday with our own DJ Yoakley behind the call on a lot of it. So we're excited to have some results to talk about, as well as just talk about getting into the season a little bit with Gary Allsizer.
And we'll have Scotty on as well. And Scotty will try to stump Ty like he does every week. Ty with a commanding lead right now. But who knows? It could all change. Scotty can come in with a haymaker tomorrow and dive into that lead.
We have that new rule now that the Super Dave questions have to be fact checkable, or he has to have the answer in some form or fashion.
If I can't find it, like
if he needs to at least have it on his phone or in a newspaper clipping, he needs like an answer that like is identifiable.
Basically, Super Dave can't go, hey, I watched this on a documentary last night, and I'm going to use it as a trivia question.
And you name the documentary.
The last Yankee player to hit a shot into the third deck in left field. How do you find that? No, we're not doing that anymore, Super Dave. Nice try.
But yeah, Scotty, we'll see. We'll see what you come. He's been coming with some heat lately. He's becoming
maybe some of his trivia questions should just be who's going to win the basketball games, because that might get him some points.
Yeah, because I have the answers. You just want me to
have the answer clearly.
You want me to say my picks again and just transfer my points to Scotty's? That's the only way he could catch up. Bring the heat, Scotty. I'm expecting it tomorrow.
We know Scotty's watching. We can't wait to see him tomorrow. We'll also have, as always, game recaps from tonight's action, and maybe some post-game interviews, some FaceTime for some of these players and coaches. Tomorrow we're going to have some off-air interviews recorded after the show tomorrow night. So Thursday will be an exciting day with a lot of content in the can that we are able to play for you on Thursday. So the rest of the week on Running Point looking very pretty, but tomorrow, once again, Wrestling Wednesdays with Gary, and then Scotty, and recaps and picks.
Yeah, we have it all taken care of for you here on ysnlive.com. So stay tuned to the network. Games tonight, of course, as well as we'll have our show right back here 12 to 2 tomorrow with Wrestling Wednesdays. And stay tuned right after. We have our Casual Sports Podcast with Alec and Matt from 2 to 3, as well as Power Hour from 3 to 4 with DJ and the gang.
Ty, tell the people where they can find the games tonight.
You can find them right here on ysnlive.com, as Find Your Teams too, all throughout our sites. So you could go right over to the tabs where it says high schools and find a list of the conferences, and you go right over and find a list of your teams too, as if one of your teams is sponsored by YSN, or sponsored rather under the banner of YSN, I should say, you will find your games live most nights, as I believe we have, what did we say, 12 you said tonight?
Yeah, but I was counting on the wrong day because it's Tuesday.
Let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 in my case.
16.
16 games.
So we lowballed it a little bit. 16 games on the network.
We picked 17, 18, 19, 20. We picked 20. So 16 out of 20 we got.
So go ahead and stay tuned to the network. Of course, you will find it also on our socials. We post the schedule of all the complete games that you will find usually on the network too, and their start time. So stay tuned to the socials as well. And you could always find the games live on ysnlive.com, as well as all of our socials.
We got you covered. From now until the games in at 9:30, YSN will be live.
Absolutely. Stay tuned for Casual Sports Podcast to follow.
I'll be at South Range. You'll be at Camel, and we'll have guys all over the map. ysnlive.com/live. Find your team, find your game, hit play. It is all free thanks to our wonderful sponsors at YSN. Ty, we've hit the midnight hour, so just in case there have been a couple of extra votes between now and then, let's see what the total is at, and let's see where we think these totals will be starting tomorrow. So the girls are at 28, 21, 870. And the boys are at 15,114.
21.
So right now, the total is 36,984. And once again, you won. You get to defer on what you want to do for your.
Yeah, you go ahead, Anthony. Go on and go first.
Okay, it's at 36. Now, I know it didn't move a lot in the last hour and 20, but it's going to move a lot.
They have jumped, though, twice in the full days that we've given them, though, at least 10,000 plus.
I'm going to say 47.5 for tomorrow. 47,500 at the start of the show tomorrow.
Give me 49,000.
49.
49,000.
So basically, I have to be between 47.5 and 49.
I gave you 1,500. I gave you more than last
Better
time.
than the 200 you gave me today.
Well, it was a little bit shorter of a time window. Boys basketball tonight. I think they're going to see a lot of the players that are up for Baird Brothers Big Dogs are in action tonight. I think the boys number a little bit small. They can't lose to girls basketball by a huge margin first week. They're going to jump tonight. I think you're going to see a lot of votes and people pushing. You better push it to share too. Share on social, share Big Dogs if your player's up for voting. Get those votes out there. And a lot of them are in action tonight too. So see them on the network.
If you're watching and you want to vote and you don't know how, ysnlive.com/big dogs will get you there. You scroll down, you find your favorite player, you hit vote, and you can do that unlimited. And the voting ends Sunday at midnight.
So, yep, get out there and vote and share and get your player's name out there as we will have our Baird Brothers Big Dog nominees and the winners announced by next week.
And if you care about Anthony, you should vote about 1,500 times tonight.
Just in between that, I got you. 49,000 combined votes is what we're looking for. And that I think they're going to show up. I always say I'm overconfident in them, and they always come through for me.
Just to spite you, I think it should be at 48,999.
Just right there, before me.
You lose by one vote.
That would be terrible. I would just go on and just vote that if that was. Let me cast a vote one more time and just see where we're at.
Guys be watching the totals tonight and just hitting voting to help himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. As I'm doing the game, I'm voting on YSN Big Dogs.
Then it's in a backfire. We're both going to go over and have to do this all again.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Kevin Moore, I'm going to be talking to you about pushing your name tonight too. So I'll be there.
All right. That'll do it for us today. We're going on a 22-hour break. We'll be back tomorrow from 12 to 2. Casual Sports Podcast coming up from 2 to 3. Power Hour from 3 to 4. And a bunch of basketball on the network tonight. So stay on with YSN, and we'll be back tomorrow from 12 to 2. Until then, have a good